Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Back with another Nova discussion, another chat. I think I'm gonna call it. I'm not too sure. Maybe Nova talk. I need to think about what we're gonna actually call this series as we go along. But I'm here with Agent 42, one of my subscribers for a long time, probably about 4 years, like when I was so small. So say hello, Agent. How you doing, man?
Hello. It's me.
Yeah, man. You've always been in the streams so many years ago, like literally. When I had like, maybe 2 people watching my streams, you're one of the people there. So I respect that, man. I appreciate you, being in those streams, those GU streams back in the day, and the Riot streams as well. It was always good to have you around, man. So
Yeah.
yeah, I wanted to make sure I get the people who have been supporting me for a long time. People like you, Trax, Wind, really represent you guys on this type of discussions about Monster Hunter. So yes, it's great to have you, man.
Yeah, thanks.
So let's start with getting to know a bit more about you. What Monster Hunter game was your first?
If I remember correctly, it was Freedom Unite.
Freedom Unite. Okay. A lot of people actually say that, but I've never touched
Yeah.
Freedom Unite. Never.
I think it would be like technically like the second game because it was released around there at that time.
From Freedom Unite, where did you go? Did you go to like a try, or did you go to fourth gen?
I went to fourth gen for a little bit, but since I was still pretty young, I only kind of played off my brother, and then I moved away from my brother for a while. But then when I came to live with him for basically the rest of my adult life, or childhood, I I got into Generations with him. We played that for a long time, and then World. We we bought PlayStations, each of us, and pre-ordered World when it was coming out.
Nice.
We're like that big into Monster Hunter, and then bought Switches, pre-ordered Rise, and everything. Same for me, at least. My brother stopped playing after he got a girlfriend.
It always happens, man. It always happens.
Yeah,
But that's so.
and
Let
then
me
I
just get it
played it a
straight.
lot.
So you guys played World together. You got PS together. You got Switch together to play Rise. So you guys were like a unit. You guys are hunting buddies, right?
Yep,
So
that's how.
it's a similar story for me actually, but mostly on when World came out, because my brother, he joined in to play Monster Hunter. This is his first one, Monster Hunter World, and he bought. I didn't even know he was gonna buy it. He already had an Xbox, and then he bought the game, and he told me he's playing the game. I'm like, wow, you're playing the game. So then I went to buy an Xbox just to play World with my brother. Otherwise, I was actually probably gonna skip World until it came to PC. But because I wanted to play my brother, I said, you know what, let me get an Xbox. Let me play my bro. And we had a lot of fun. Honestly, it was his first Monster Hunter game. It's the last one he's played. He hasn't played since, to be honest. But he enjoyed the game. He didn't even play Iceborne. I did tell him let's play Iceborne, but he never got into it. But he really liked Base World. He had a good time. He was playing Insect Glaive, so I can understand that kind of bond you can have with your brother. He was my older brother as well, so probably similar to you. It was nice to have that experience, right?
Yeah, it was nice playing with my brother. He is also my older brother. We had a third one who would occasionally play with us. My other brother. I'm the youngest of 3. But yeah, we used to play. Used to be like the 3 Musketeers. What is what we call ourselves.
That's sick, man. That's really cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. And throughout your time playing Monster Hunter, what weapon did you mostly play?
I've always played Gunlance. That's just been my main weapon. I tried Hammer in World, and then that was kind of the only time I ever switched a weapon.
So
I might try bow now, just to try it out.
yeah, I don't know too much about bow in Wilds. I don't know. Have you played Wilds at all? Or
Yeah, currently I think I have like almost 300 hours, maybe.
quite a lot.
Let's see. I have the game open right now too. I'll just kind of be playing it while we talked.
That's nice. What are you hunting? What are you hunting?
Nothing right now. I was just in the main hub area.
That's fine. That's cool. So
Okay, I got 238 hours.
that's around the same as me. That's around the same. Might be a bit less
All
actually.
right.
I think about it. Yeah. Actually, no. I think I'm only on 100 and something hours now. I think about it. I'm not on 200 yet. I'm on hunter rank 250. That's what I was thinking about.
250.
Your hunter
Okay.
rank. Yeah, my hunter rank isn't that high, but it's alright.
Mine's only 230. So
Oh, quite similar then. Not bad.
yeah.
Not bad. So you tested
Um.
out Hammer and World. You're thinking of playing Bow, but Gunlance is your baby.
Yes, it is. It is my favorite. I love Gunlance.
So, okay, what game has your favorite Gunlance? Is it Wilds? Is it Rise? Is it World? Freedom Unite? Which one? I need to know.
I have to say Rise simply because I can fly.
Yeah, the Blast Dust was too sick. It was too sick.
I got really good at it too. That my brother, so he switched to PC like halfway through the world's lifespan. Like when it came to PC, he switched to that. He played Iceborne on there too. He had a bunch of PC friends and they got Rise and played with us. And his PC friends would be like, "Whoa, what is your brother? He's the he's the Red Comet." You know, they're basically calling me Valstrax. That was flying around everywhere.
Yeah, you're basically Velstrax. That's literally it.
Yeah.
Literally it. I've always wondered. You say in the red comment. I don't know if you know much about Gundam.
No, not really, but I could tell you've liked it considering your profile.
Yeah, and Char Aznable, one of the main characters in the first Gundam, and he's been in a couple others. They used to call him the Red Comet, and that was back in 1979. So I'm wondering if they got that from him. That's actually quite interesting, and I never thought about that until you said that. Yeah, but no, that's cool, man. Like, Gunlance was cool. Like, blast dancing around was great. I had a lot of fun doing that. And it's always nice, like when you're playing different weapons than other people in your party, and they're seeing you do something sick or cool. They're like, "Whoa, I want to do that," and then maybe they'll try it out and they'll find and experience something new they've never experienced before, and it's really cool.
You know what that reminds me of a little bit?
What's that?
So I go on Reddit occasionally. Like, I just make an account and then I mess around. I don't really use it. I think I already deleted my account just because I don't use it. But one time that I was on Reddit, I joined a Gunlance subreddit, and I got temporarily banned because I kept talking too much about Gunlance.
Holy shit! What?
Yeah. So I would go around being like, "Play Gunlance. Everyone should play Gunlance. Wow, look at this guy. Everyone telling me should play Gunlance." And then everyone was like, "Yeah." I was basically leading like charges to like different posts of being like, "Play Gunlance," and then I got banned.
They ban you for being a Gunlance fanatic. That's in a Gunlance forum. That's something. Like, I don't know what to say about that.
That's what happened.
Yeah. maybe they're a bit jealous. Maybe they saw you as the mascot and that. No, we can't have that. This guy he's leading the way.
I mean, it was technically against the rules to be like propaganding, but whatever.
I mean, fair enough. But it's a Gunlance subreddit, but yeah, it is what it is. But no, it's cool that you like Gunlance, because you've been following me for a while. You know, Gunlance is my actually secondary. I love Gunlance in pretty much every game. GU is probably the most I play Gunlance in. I know a lot of people don't like Gunlance in Generations Ultimate, but I love it. I know the heat gauge is annoying, and the fact that people say they decrease the damage by 30%, and then the heat gauge is getting your damage back to the base damage that it should be at. I know that's a bit dumb, but apart from that, I like the heat mechanic, and I think it's interesting. And I always thought if it was just an additive rather than, just getting you back to normal, like let's say it was actually a proper 30% boost when you're in red and you're hitting, I think that would have been so cool. Because the thing I always love about Gunlance, and I actually don't use much Gunlance in Wilds. People probably have noticed if you're watching the streams, I never use Gunlance in Wilds. Even though I think most people love Gunlance in Wilds, Gunlance was always cool to me because it was kind of complex. It was a complex weapon. You really need to know how to play the weapon to play it. And I like that complexity in GU, Adept style, Valor style, all this other stuff as well. And then in Wilds, for me at least, Gunlance is kind of basic. It's like too easy. The combos are too easy. It just feels like you can just pick up the weapon, you can just do anything. And it kind of pulls me out of it, if you know what I mean. But that's just me personally. I don't, people don't need to agree with me. That's fine. You don't have to agree. You can boo me right now. Boo me in the comments, it's fine. But for me personally, that's why I don't really use Gunlance in Wilds. Unless the hunt is like super hard. Like if I'm fighting against Arc Tempid or maybe 8-star Gold Magala or something like that, then probably I might use the Gunlance. But if I'm fighting just regular monsters, I don't want to use it. Kind of, I'm just going to destroy monsters and it's going to be a breeze. So, but that's just me personally.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's I feel like Gunlance, I used to have to actually think about where I'm standing. I had to think of my positioning. But in Wilds, with the focus kind of like immediately turn around, I don't have to no more. I would say it's become more, you could just kind of spam it.
Yeah, that was my issue. It did become more spammy. And I didn't like that. But that's just me. Like, if people don't agree with me, like, I just want to make that clear. If you don't agree, even you, agent, if there's any part in this conversation you don't agree with what I'm saying, just let me know. Just straight away let me know. And
I agree pretty much. I just, since I've been playing it for 200 hours, I kind of got used to it now. But I don't know. I was just really happy when they added the fact you just drill monsters, just auger into them.
I mean, the drill is cool. It's cool, but
yeah,
how is the balance on that now? I know Gunlance uses at the start of the game, and in the beta they said it was kind of useless. The damage was not there. But how is it now with the drill?
I don't know about the damage. I run in Wilds. I have a flayer set, so I get wounds way more often.
Nice.
So I don't really pay attention to the damage. I just kind of want the like stagger usually.
Yeah.
I mean, I never took it as it's supposed to be a lot because it's kind of like the gimmick. Like, you're not supposed to be using the gimmick so much, if that makes sense.
That is true, but I suppose on the contrary, if it is something you're not using often, then when you do use it, it should be very impactful, right? In that sense.
Yeah.
Like I
don't know. I feel like the wound system just needs to be reworked somehow. I don't know how you would do it, but it's been broken since like the beta.
Bro, you know what was funny? Like back in the beta, like I noticed it was gonna be broken like straight away. I was like, "Wow, this is crazy," because I was seeing monsters getting flinched. I was seeing so much damage happening, and wounds were coming everywhere. And I like the idea of it. I think it's kind of like an evolution of the clutch core and tenderizing.
Yeah.
But more visual, and I thought that was cool. But the fact that you flinch the monsters so much, it just makes it a bit too easy throughout most of the game until you get to the 8-star monsters where they can't get flinched that often because the weak spots don't happen as much. So yeah, I'm with you there, man. They need to revamp it somehow. I don't know how. The way they did revamp it in the end was literally just stop them from happening as often, which I'm not too sure how I feel about that, because I do understand it fixes the problem mostly, but then at the same time, one of your main combat gimmicks that you added for this game is seen less often in the end game. But that's just me. We had to talk about it on the stream the other day, and some people just disagreed with me, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine.
I mean, I think it'd be kind of cool if there was a consequence to using it too much. Like, I don't know, the monster enters like a super enraged state or something like that. Like, oh, you've been cutting me up too much. I'm about to unleash my ultimate attack on you.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah. They definitely could do something like that, and I suppose it would it would be kind of like a risk and reward system, right? Like you can do it, but if you do it, you're gonna make that monster more angry, and they'll come after you more faster, harder, and all this stuff. Which there could be something there. Yeah, for sure. Now, coming into this video, we've already kind of got sidetracked, but originally you wanted to talk to me about, I think it was about customization and mostly about microtransactions, if I'm correct, and around that kind of stuff. So what's on your mind? Let me know. Let's talk today and discuss.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you've looked at the shop, but some of the stuff are kind of expensive, like almost $5, I think, or $4 for a little skin for Alma or whatever. Which, I mean, you don't have to buy it, but still, it's a little pricey. $2 for a little charm, or whatever the little decorations are called. And again, you don't have to buy it or nothing. But when I see that, it reminded me of how they're starting to get a little too money hungry. Like, I understand, wanting to make profit, because of course what business doesn't, but like, I think I heard you talking about how Wild was released a little too early because the investors and whatnot, that like, oh, you got to release it now so then we can get our money for whatever we invested, like right now. And yeah, I guess you can go.
No, for sure. I will go. And it's funny that you mentioned that video, because just earlier today, before we started, you were saying, we were talking a bit, and you were saying that back in the day you were trying to get me to cool down with my ranting. But recently I've been ranting a lot, but you've been saying that I've been doing a bit better. So I mean,
I know, but I say it's better because the ranting is a little more justified.
Okay, man, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. So that's just some context for you guys in the comments. Me and Agent, we go way back. And I'm gonna keep ranting as long as I see there's a need for it. If there's not a need for it, I won't do it. But that's just coming from me. But going back to what you asked me, it is a shame that the game released in the state it did. I mean, it's quite evident that the game wasn't ready. Definitely when it comes to PC and the performance, and there's been so many videos, so many people talking about the shareholders and the financials, and them needing to reach a certain amount of growth year on year, and Monster Hunter Wilds needed to come out at the time it did to reach that threshold they needed for the financial year. And then when you think about all of that, and then adding on to what you just said about the increase in microtransactions, the cost of them, the amount of them, it does feel like, wow, like how much profit is enough? You're willing to, I guess, give us a game that isn't ready, and then also add in so many microtransactions at the same time and at high prices. And I personally, I've never really liked microtransactions like that. I won't really spend money on those in-game purchases. I tried to stay away from that. There's been some rare occasions where I thought something was worth it because the price was right. But in a game where the whole idea is hunting for gear and getting gear, buying gear kind of feels weird to me. Like it just feels like, could we get more in the game around the gear, around new interesting things, new quests we need to do, hard quests to get certain amount of gear, certain stuff in the game. And they do the event quests once in a while, and then they take them away, and now they bring them back. But the fact that they push the microtransactions so much since World, and I think it is probably getting worse and worse, and it's probably going to continue. But like you said, it's just what these corporations do. It's been like this for a while, and it's not going to stop, unfortunately. And it's getting worse as well, because I suppose back in the day it was mostly free games, right? Mobile games, free games. You buy, you purchase stuff in them, and then maybe it was more on just like free, just free to play games. Then they'll have loads of microtransactions But now we're getting full price games for the past couple of years with loads of microtransactions on top of that, which the corporations will do whatever they can do to get as much money from you as possible. But just because we know that's true, it doesn't mean we should accept it and be happy about it. I think it's still fair for people to voice their opinions on the subject, regardless if it's a reality or not. Because even though it's a reality, I don't think it's a good one, and it's not a fair one. And as someone who works in development, if you guys have been following me for a while, I do talk about I'm a software engineer. As someone who's been doing it for a while, I know these corporations, and I know they will do whatever they can to get the money, and they will be willing to cut corners to get the money and change focus for the money. For example, if they see certain things getting the money, they're gonna shift their focus to those things. It's just how it works. Unfortunately, it's just how it works. So the fact that there is a lot of microtransactions being added into this game, and not just this game, just games in general, it does change slightly, and sometimes not slightly, sometimes greatly, the game design and the focus on where they actually focus a lot of their efforts in these endeavors, because it's what's bringing in the money. And they care about this a lot. They look at this a lot. They look at the stats. They really want people to be in the stores and buying stuff because it makes them the money for the long term. So I talked a lot on that, but I feel you in that, man. I feel you in that. It is a shame.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
I mean, I still remember, like, at the end of World and Iceborne's lifespan, if you were to go in the item shop, there's so many pages of just random little trinkets. I don't know. I feel like whenever they start adding stuff from their more not mainline games, it starts getting a little sketchy, if that makes sense.
Could you expand on that a bit, sorry?
Yeah, so like the little mobile game they had, the puzzles. Like that one's all big on, little microtransaction stuff. And they're gonna make that Outlanders, which is apparently gonna be a gacha Monster Hunter game.
Oh, yeah, that kind of sounds a bit strange. I did hear about that actually.
Yeah, it's made by, I think it was Chinese developers, so
Tencent.
Definitely is gonna be all about the money.
Yeah, I think it's Tencent. Tencent, they do a lot of those type of games.
Yeah.
So it's a very big possibility. We haven't seen anything of the game really, apart from that original trailer. It's been gone for a while. But it's a mobile game. It's a mobile game, and 100% they're going to try to get as much profit as they can. It's how mobile games work. There was this one interesting situation. It's sad. This is actually sad. I don't know if you remember Super Mario Run, that game.
Yeah.
So Nintendo was selling this game, and they sold this game at full price. Like I can't remember what price it was. It was not full price for a game. It was about, I don't know, maybe $10, $20. I don't know. It was a certain amount of dollars. And they didn't really have microtransactions. I think it was just buy the game and then you play it, right? And that model didn't work for them. They didn't get many sales, even though it was Mario. It wasn't making them the profit they were expecting, because people on mobile are so, I suppose, they've been taught, and I guess that the way they think about these games is they want to play free games, and if they want to play more, they will buy these extra lives, these extra levels, and so on. That's how the ecosystem works for mobile gamers, right? And I think this is where it started. It started in mobile gamers, then it started to leak into console gaming and PC gaming, right? So now you have these situations where Nintendo realized, oh shit, Mario Run, Mario, our biggest IP, it's not doing good on the phone. They cancelled the game, and then from then on, all of their games they came out with on mobile were gacha games or games where you'd pay for microtransactions and they were free from the get-go. Maybe not all of them, I think most of the games. And those are making so much more profit than Mario Run. And it's sad because they tried to sell a full game on a mobile platform and it didn't work. So the mobile players are they've been molded into a way to just expect microtransactions. And I think that's also happened in console gaming as well. I mean, if you just think about, I don't know, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, this stuff was taboo. I remember when games were adding it in and people hated it. They were not happy, and now it's second nature. At first we said, okay, it's in a free game, it's fine. So we accepted it, even though we were annoyed at it. But then after that, it was like, okay, now people are accepting it in full price games, in $70 games. Maybe next is going to be $80 games coming out with microtransactions, and that's insane. The fact that things are shifting so much, people can get used to this stuff easily. Like these companies know it. They know it. As long as they stick with it, people will forget and they'll get used to it. It's how it happens. They'll just get used to it because all the other developers are doing it. When one big developer does it, the other developers will see they're doing it. They'll start to slowly creep on it after the original backlash, and then all of them will start to do it one by one, and then it's the norm. And then you start looking to the neighbor or another neighbor, and you see all the other games are doing it as well. So they'll be like, okay, if everyone else is doing it, then it's fine that this company is doing it. Well, in reality, they all started to do it, and because everyone accepted them doing it, so now everyone does it. They knew they could get away with it, and that's how it is. And it's sad. 100% it's sad. I don't know if puzzles was their first adventure to what. Well, I don't know if puzzles was the thing that led them into this place in the first place. I don't know if they actually just kind of understood it more from other games. But sorry.
So I also forgot to mention the Monster Hunter Now, because I played that for a little bit too.
Oh, yeah.
It's also very kind of like, oh, pay us, come on. I know you want to keep playing. Come on, it's little money.
yeah, no, 100%. I think that's also made by Tencent and the same people that made Pokemon Go and make all those type of games. It's the same company.
Yeah.
So yeah, they know how to do it well. They know how to get as much money as they can from their people. They know the psychological ways to make it enticing with the animations and the reward systems and the special chest that pops up with the sound effects. Like, they know it all. Like, I know this stuff, guys. They know the way to get the money from you guys. It's sad, but it's the truth. And no, I feel you in that, man. I don't like it either. And I suppose it started in the 5th gen, and it's been going on from here. It's not gonna stop. I suppose the worst of the worst is the situations like we had in, I don't know, in Wilds. Do we have any weapon skins in Wilds yet, or is it only armor?
Not yet. But we now that we have layered, they probably are gonna start doing that.
Okay, so they haven't done it yet.
No, not yet.
Okay, because in Rise we had that, and that was a big controversy when it came to those. I can't remember the weapons were called. Do you remember the weapons?
No, but I'm pretty sure I did buy one, which was like some weird, like, kind of fancy tech thing.
Yeah, that was the one I'm talking about. They did the tech one and they did the toy one.
Yeah, they did the toys. You had like stuffed animals as your weapons. There was like a Mitsusune that was a bow gun, I think it was.
Yeah.
Now I got the tech thing for the Gunlance. I mean, it looked cool.
Yeah. The Gunlance fanatic right here. He needed it, but I do have to say, we've been ranting about microtransactions for the last, well, mostly me, but for the last 15 minutes or so. But you did buy one.
Yeah.
You did buy one.
Yeah, I mean, even though I'm not happy with it, I don't mind supporting Monster Hunter, because it's Monster Hunter. It's a series that I've played for all my life, basically. Of course, I'm not just gonna throw all my money at it, but I'll be like, okay, what I get, you know, the little bird pendant they have that runs after you?
In Rise or
In Wilds.
Wild?
It came out not too long ago. It's a little pennant. It's a little glitchy bird. It's pretty funny.
Nah, I actually don't know. No.
I guess it.
But you got that too.
Whatever. What?
Did you say you got that too?
I got that in Wilds.
Agent.
The other thing what? I'm sorry.
No, you can't come to me talking about microtransactions and then be buying microtransactions. What is this?
I'm sorry.
What is this? Guys, we got up. We got up. This guy's an agent, a sleeper agent.
Sleeper agent.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, but
I understand why it's bad. Like there's this saying that I heard where people vote with their wallet.
Yeah.
And I do feel bad when I buy. I'm like, oh,
okay.
I'm feeding into what they want, but.
Okay, so okay, let's think about this bit. Let's think about this bit. I don't want to shame you too much, but I do want you to acknowledge that you are buying and feeding into what you just talked about. But yeah. So let's get through that. Now, you thought when it came to the Gunlance, your words were it looked cool, and I don't deny it. It did look cool. All of the weapons looked cool, and I think that's what frustrated people because it looked cool, but it cost money. So
yeah.
I suppose it's a bit of a hard one because you talked about also that you want to support Capcom, but we support them by buying their games, right? That is the support.
You're very right. It's as you said, the games have been kind of programming us almost. Be like, oh, come on, don't you want to buy it? Don't you want to help us out?
Yeah, I don't want to shame you because I mean, I also do buy something.
Shame me all you want.
Shame you? Okay. I'll shame you in a bit. But
okay.
I do also buy. The only thing I bought in Rise is I bought the music because I think the music sounds really good, and I liked to change the music for my lobbies. So I bought that. Yeah. Apart from that, I didn't buy any weapons or armors. That stuff isn't for me. But the music I thought was fine. It wasn't too much high price, and I didn't think it was too intrusive of the situation. But I suppose it's a difficult one because it kind of comes down to the individual of do they think it's worth how much it's worth? Like you talked about £5. Do you think something is worth or $5? Do you think something's worth $5? If the answer is no, then don't buy it.
No, yeah,
don't buy it. Now, I guess it's this is such a hard one because there's a difference between buying two things, like you said for yourself. Like if we're going to have some nuance here, buying two things compared to the hundreds of things on the store, right? And it sounds like since you did buy two, it sounds like it's more the quantity of how much they're selling is your issue. If it was just a couple and maybe if it was cheaper, you'd be fine with it. Is that your line of thinking?
That I would say that is a little better because I would love it if it was in the game and you could just do it or get it by doing some quest, grinding for something, unlocking it from whatever, I don't know, achievement or something they want.
Yeah,
I would prefer that. But if it's just, I mean, I don't want to say like, oh, if it's just a little bit of money, it's good. But even then, that's still not good because I don't want them to be like, oh, so they'll pay a little bit, we're a little bit more, and then as you say, they'll just keep encroaching and getting greedier and greedier, and then it will just spiral out of control.
Yeah, it's just what happens. I mean, one of the games I think about is League of Legends, and I don't play it anymore, but the amount that some skins cost in that game is insane. And they know they can do it because people will buy it, and they will keep on coming out with these special edition skins that cost like $20 or more, and people will buy it because they want to look pretty. They want to look like, you know, an elite, someone who has something that no one else has. They want it, you know, and definitely those limited time costumes or things, they want to have it and they keep it forever. And then everyone else knows, oh, they got this that no one else can get from now on. So yes, it's how these corporations do it. And I suppose, I mean, for me to your agent, and I guess to everyone in the comments, you kind of have to go into this on an individual kind of standing. If there's something that you feel is fine with your money, your purchase, like it's not too much and it's something that you want and you think that it's just something you want, but you still don't like the practice of Capcom, go for it. Like, I'm not shaming you. I mean, I'm gonna shame Agent because of all that stuff he started talking, and the fact he got me on here to talk about it, and he bought the two things. But besides him,
well, one of them was in Rise, one of them in Wild.
Okay, well,
two separate games,
and I want to talk about something about that too, actually. So yeah, fair enough with that. So it's, you know, it's fine it's fine if you want to buy it. Like, go ahead. I would just be cautious of how much you're spending, I suppose, in that end. Just be cautious of what you're buying. In any endeavor, not just in microtransactions and anything in life, but it's such a hard thing. It's such a hard thing. I haven't bought anything in Wilds, and I don't think I will. Definitely because of the launch of the game. I don't think they deserve more money in that sense. If the game came out in a good state and I was happy about it, then maybe I would buy some music. I don't even know if you can buy music. I'm guessing you can.
I don't. Maybe.
Not sure.
I don't think you can right now. Because I pre-ordered the game, I got Proof of a Hero as a track that you just get.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
But I don't think you can buy music yet.
Okay. Well, I don't think I'm going to buy any music in Wilds, at least at the moment. I'll let you guys know if that changes, but I don't foresee myself doing that. For Rise, yeah, I'll say that I bought some music and I was happy with the purchase. I didn't think it was too expensive, and I really liked the music. I use the music all the time in the videos because I like it a lot. I really do like it. So I was fine with that.
You know, there's something I've been wanting to kind of talk about too.
Okay.
I watched your Palico, like how Palico suck video a little bit ago.
Yeah.
And it's in Wilds.
Yep.
And it made me realize that Monster Hunter, it's like everything that's been more like simplified, being compressed, getting removed to make things more streamlined. It feels like you've probably heard of the thing that like gamers will eventually like make, like, what's it called? Like streamline the experience, where they'll get rid of like the fun. They'll just kind of reach a certain point where they like max themselves out, have the best gear, and they're like, well, this game's boring now. It's too easy. But because they made themselves like too strong, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I do get what you mean, yeah.
So I feel like Monster Hunter itself is doing that for us. It's streamlining itself and kind of removing the fun out of it. And with your video talking about how the Palicos, you can't customize them, nothing in Wild, which is true. The only thing I could do is put them in a different suit, and that's it. Unlike the previous games where I could customize like exactly like what class, how much support I want, how much everything. It feels like Monster Hunter is getting rid of its own character, its own uniqueness, I guess, whatever. Does that make sense?
No, it makes total sense, and I think a lot of people would agree. I know there are some new players who don't like to hear that, and some people who are still happy and they don't like to hear that. But I think it's true. I think it's definitely true. And the Palico situation just highlights that to the nth degree. Definitely when you think back to, I mean, I was so astonished when I went back to 3U and Troy, and I was just looking at the systems and I'm like, whoa, we had this much? How are we going backwards? It doesn't make sense. This is 15 years ago. I played this game when I was a kid, and it had more when it came to the Palico than now. In 2025, I was astonished. I was actually astonished looking back. And it is sad. It's sad because those are the small things. Like those things. And some people don't understand this. They say, you know, the game is bigger, more people are playing it, you should be happy. and it's controversial, and people are gonna say this is gatekeeping, but it's not gatekeeping. I remember Radatusker also said this in his video, and I said this as well. In I think the video I did on is Monster Hunter too difficult, is that people played Monster Hunter back then because they liked what Monster Hunter was. So if Monster Hunter changes and brings in more people and they don't like what Monster Hunter is now, then why would they be happy about what is now just because more people are playing it? If they're not excited or happy about what they're playing, they're not excited or happy. And I've started to really think about that recently, and I know this is a bit of a spoiler for my review that I'm finally going to do about Wilds eventually. Is I don't think all of the streamlining and all of the new stuff is making me enjoy Monster Hunter more than I did before. It's not. I'm not enjoying it more. It's new experiences, but I'm not enjoying it more. I would prefer to play the other experiences in general. That had that charm, that wasn't streamlined, that made me think more, that had more thought into it. Like the Palico situation with the system and having subquests. Like I was talking to when I was talking to Soares, and I talked to my friend, like having subquests in quests. Like I like that stuff. Like those type of stuff, having to think about my build, having to think about counting the monster, not just using raw all the time or blast, thinking about the elements and thinking about statuses and all this stuff, like all this stuff, complex systems and skill systems. For me personally, at least for me, I'm not going to talk about for anyone else. It doesn't matter. It only matters about yourself in the end, because you're the one who's buying the game, you're the one who's playing it, you're the one who's enjoying it, right? And for me, like a lot of those changes, I'm not enjoying them more than I did before. I would prefer to have those instead. So it's a shame to see a lot of the things being streamlined and taken away. And I understand why they're doing it. They want to appeal to a larger audience. They want to do that. You can do that. You can do that as much as you want. But just know, as you're doing that, you are going to lose people like me eventually. And you've already lost a lot of people who are already annoyed, about stuff. For people like me, the combat is still good. I like the combat in Wilds. I like using the lance. I want to make a lance video soon. I'm liking the lance. I'm liking that. The fights are cool. But there's a lot of other stuff that I loved, and that's what got me into the series in the first place, that I'm not seeing anymore. And like you just said, the Palico is one of them. And it's a shame. It really is a shame.
Man, I love the little subquests because you felt like you're doing a proper little objective. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, that's my secondary little thing to do. That's they're getting rid of so much of the character, like I said before, but the more I think about it, the worse it gets. Like, I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist in this game where you could wave at in Generations, you could wave at the guy in the air balloon, and I'm pretty sure he'd show you where the monster was at.
Yeah, he does.
I think that's what he did.
Yeah.
And that was a cool little interaction. Like, unless you looked up and then did an emote, it wouldn't happen. But it was cool. Like, he would acknowledge you and be like, okay, there's a monster right there. And instead of the monster just magically appearing on your radar you have for some reason, like it would, the dude basically tells you where it's at. It made sense. Like a little interaction like that is nice. And then the cat, somebody cooking for you was nice too. I don't like the Uber Eats that we have in this game, or you not saying so tasty in cooking. I miss my so tasty. Where's my so tasty?
They don't have so tasty when you do the meat. I think they do.
You do, but you have to do it perfectly, and it's your cat who says it.
Oh, okay.
So you have to do the little mini game perfectly, unlike before where just you cook it right. But now you have to do each slice perfect, and then only if you're in a safe area you'll say so tasty.
Damn, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know, I like the more cutesy side of Monster Hunter, because it felt like, oh, this nice little area is my safe space, and then I gotta go into the dangerous wilderness to hunt big scary monsters, and then come back to my little safe place where a fat cat will cook for me.
Yeah, that guys. Agent misses the fat cat cooking. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
No, I do understand what you're saying actually, and it's ironic. I was saying this to Suarez, and I was talking about this with my friends as well previously. It's called Monster Hunter Wilds, but you never really feel like you're in the wilds. I felt like I was more in the wilds in the previous games.
Yeah.
Because when you're going out there, like you're saying, you felt like it was just you, the monster, your supplies that they drop for you, or if you're in a high rank or G rank, no supplies, you have to wait for the supplies to come later. You're there. And if you're playing with people, the buddies you came with, it was just that. But now, I suppose you can SOS people to come in whenever you want. You can get NPCs, which is fair enough if you're playing by yourself. You can go back to camp so easily. You can pick up all this stuff so much on the map. Monsters come and go. You can just run back to camp so easily. It feels too. Yes, it feels. They give you more freedom, but the freedom takes away from the fact that you feel defenseless, that you feel secluded. You're on a mission. You're out there to do something.
You just reminded me of something.
What's up?
They brought back the hot and cold mechanic, but made it pointless because every 5 feet there's a heat mantle bug or whatever, cool mantle bug.
Yeah, bro.
So you'd be like, oh, I forgot to eat a cool drink or hot drink. Well, there's a bug right here 3 feet from me.
Bro, I talked about that as well. I can't remember what video I talked about that in, but I said, yeah, that it's nonsense. It doesn't matter because you can do it anyway. It's so easy. But to be honest, it's been like that since World. World was the same. Like as soon as you come out of the camp or you start to go into an area where you need hot drinks, the thing's right there to make the hot drink, which is kind of strange and very convenient. But I suppose it's just how the games are made. In Rise, they took it away and they added it back in Wilds. So hot drinks are still there, but then, like you said, there's the dynamic life anyway, which allows you to handle the situation anyway. So most times, for me, I don't even bring hot drinks or cold drinks. I just rely on those stuff. Like every time in the Gingerhead fight, there's one on the wall. I just go get that one. Like I'm not using hot drink. Yeah. What's the point?
I think there's like 3 in in the second room he walks into. So I literally never have to worry about that. I walk into the quest, walk in from that little area, you jump down, eat a bug that's nearby, and then fight him. Right.
Yeah, I suppose.
And also,
go on.
Your secret has hot drinks on them. So you just, I think it's down on the D-pad, right?
Yeah.
And you'll open it, and then you'll have like 2 hot drinks for you. So you don't even have to bring your own. You could just spawn in the quest, and they'll give you 2 for free.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, that one's a bit interesting because in old gen, in low rank, they did give you some, but it's only at the start. You know, it's in your chest. But as soon as you get to high rank, as soon as you're in G rank, no more supplies like that. You need to come prepared because you're a big boy. You are a big boy.
Yeah.
But that's not the case anymore. You don't need to care about that. You don't. You know.
I miss being in a situation where restocking, like if you forgot to restock, is like actually life threatening. Like, oh no, I forgot to restock. I don't have enough potions.
Yeah.
I think it was in Generations. Me and my brother were hunting a monster, and we ran out of heals. So we would take shifts. Basically, we were taking turns. Of one of us had run all the way back to camp, sleep, and then come back to hunt the monster, and then the other one would go back. And it was fun to actually be in like, oh no, stressful situations.
Yeah, man. These are the small interactions you don't think of, but they happen and they mean so much. They're so impactful in everything. And I had the same story, a similar story. I was telling in the other video, where me and my friend JR, we were fighting against a hyper silver and golden Rathian and Rathalos, and we ran out of pots, and we waited for the supplies. We used the supplies. We had nothing left. We had literally nothing to our name, and we were stuck here. So we started to just run around the map, picking up herbs, picking up blue mushrooms, and getting honey and making mega potions because it was the only way we could. That type of thought process doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist. And I can't ever think of a fight that's actually going to make me have to do that anyway. I think No, there's not much there. Maybe 8-star 5 difficulty Sirius almost made me run out of potions when I was using a longsword, but I don't even use longsword like that. So that was a rarity. So it's a shame. Yeah, restocking really does destroy a lot of those mechanics, those situations for the convenience intruding on your experience in as a survival aspect in the game. Like the survival aspect is kind of gone. It kind of disappeared along the way to becoming more convenient for people. And some people don't understand that. They look at being able to restock as something that you should have. It makes sense. Fine, it makes sense. But the experience of not restocking added a lot to the games in general. Added a lot. And I think Wilds as a game, I don't want to get too doomerish, but one thing that did disappoint me was I was hoping it would be more about survival and being in the wilds, given the name, given the premise, forbidden lands and all this stuff. But I feel so safe all the time. There's so much there for you to feel so safe and so free and so calm. Restocking, all the stuff around the map, like the fact monsters don't hit that hard anyway. The fact you rarely got any hard monsters when we were going through the game in the first place. Like there was rarely anything strong. Like if you're lucky, you get a tempered 5-star, but most times you're just gonna get 1-star Chechikabras. I'm always referencing 1-star Chechikabras because I can't believe I'm seeing 1-star Chechikabras on the map when I finish the game. It's ridiculous. But like it's just stuff like that, and you don't feel the stress, you don't feel the discomfort, and people may hear that and be like, discomfort? Why do you want to feel discomfort when you're playing a video game? Well, they don't understand that discomfort brings you joy in the end. But when you overcome that discomfort, when you beat that boss, when you overcome those struggles, you look at yourself and you're like, I'm a sick guy. I did that. Me and my team, we did that.
There's a satisfaction to overcoming something hard.
Yeah. And in your case, it was you and your brother taking turns going to sleep and coming back. Like that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But those so you go on.
Get rid of that. They got rid of it. They got rid of all the nice little things you could do. Like I was thinking more about it as you were talking. I forgot which one it was, but you had like a little farm you could tend to, and you could grow the things you wanted. And you send out like a little cat to go gather some more stuff for you. It wasn't just you walk up to Nada and then be like, give me my things. And he's like,
okay. Yeah, I remember that was in Troy. I remember there was a farm in Troy. Was it in Troy or was that? No. There was a farm in 4. I think it was 4th gen. I remember there was a farm in 4 maybe.
Yeah, then that's the one I was playing on.
Yeah, guys watching this right now, in the comments, let us know what game, because I definitely know there was at least one monster in the game I played and there was a farm. I can't remember which one. I know Generations didn't have one, unfortunately. I think 3U did. No, 3U did have one. Yes, 3U had one. Try had one. I remember now. And I think 4 probably had one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And probably FU probably had one too. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, and that's gone. Like even in World, you just go up to the botanist, whatever, and they do it.
Yeah.
You don't really see the little cats going around doing their thing. No, it's not like that. And in Rise they continued that. It wasn't like that either. But like you said, it's the small things, and the small things add up to one big thing for people. Not everyone, but for people. And guys in the comments, you're listening to this so far. These are agents' gripes. These are my gripes. They don't need to be your gripes, all right? They don't need to be. If you don't agree with us, that's completely fine. That's completely fine. I'll allow you to attack Agent. You can attack Agent on him buying microtransactions, because I'm going to do that too. I'm going to do that too.
No.
But the other thing, when it comes to the streamlining, you can attack me, but don't attack Agent, because his opinion is how he feels. It's fine. It's good, and I like it. It makes a lot of sense. I'm with you there, man. It's a shame, and I mean, it's cool that new people get to experience the game, and it's cool that a lot of people got to experience the game, and they like the changes. It's just for people like me and you and others, we're were loving those small interactions, those small things that added to the experience, that made it Monster Hunter for us, right? So yes, that's a bit of a shame, but I don't know where we go from here, to be honest. I don't think Wilds is gonna have those QE interactions or those things that you're looking for.
I mean, sorry to interrupt, but what I was just gonna say real quick is, it seems that they've done kind of like a soft reboot since World, and it looks like they've been trying to make it more serious, like with the art style and everything.
Yeah.
Because
no, go on.
What's his name? The dude with the red hair that makes all the puns. You remember in Worlds he showed up? He's from like the previous games and whatnot.
The Ace Hunter, I think, right?
Yeah. I think they gave him a name, but whatever. Like characters like that weren't like a big deal. Like everyone was basically nameless. The story was kind of about you hunting monsters, Monster Hunter. But now they're trying to give it a story, being like, oh yeah, this dude's one of the, I don't know, I guess best hunters from over there, and he came to help you fight Fatalis. And in lore, Fatalis killed you in a previous game. Like in the previous game where you fought Fatalis and you won, in World, they said, no, that didn't happen. You lost. So they killed off our previous hunter to put the new World Hunter as, I guess, the main guy. If that makes sense.
I'm a bit lost there. I don't know too much about the lore around Fatalis in that sense.
I guess I should explain a little more about that then. So in Monster Hunter World, when you go to fight Fatalis and Castle Shrade,
yep,
and you kill him and everything, the story of what happened in the little cutscene is that there was people fighting him, and you're here to like take over and fight him and finish him. So he's active there, and whoever went there first died. So that the first people who went there would be our old world hunters.
I see. But we died in that hunt against Fatalis.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So they killed off the old hunters and made the new hunters, the old hunters, I guess the better ones.
Do you know if it's confirmed that we were the hunters that went and died? Like, is this confirmed in lore by Capcom, or is this more speculation?
I'm pretty sure this is speculation, but most of Monster Hunter lore has been kind of us just kind of piecing things together from what kind of little snippets they give us. Like even with the ancient. Oh, sorry. What?
No, go on.
Oh, so with the ancient civilization stuff of like the old Monster Hunters, it seems to have been retconned as well, like just kind of replaced with this new Wyveria stuff. So, like, what's his name? You know that guy that was kind of rude to us in the story that made some sort of explosive?
Yeah, I know that guy. Yeah.
So, if my understanding is correct, he invented like the Gunlance and whatnot with his technology he made.
Okay, yep.
So that would mean the old lore of us reverse engineering the older weapons like Gunlance and Switch Axe and Charge Blade would be kind of null if he made it, you know?
I don't know the lore much myself. I'm not really a lore guy, but from what you're saying, if what you're saying is correct, then that makes sense. Yes.
Yeah, and whoever who's watching and you as well, take it with a grain of salt because, I mean, it's not like I know the lore 100% being like, yes, this is exactly what happened. But this is from my knowledge of the games. So, let's see. With all of that, it would seem that they're getting rid of the older stuff to replace with a new lore to, I don't know, I guess make the games more to what they want nowadays.
Okay, so I think what you're saying overall is it feels like they're rewriting Monster Hunter for the new generation of people playing Monster Hunter, for this new gen. The rewrite of Monster Hunter Since World is what you're saying basically, right?
Yeah, that feels about right, yeah.
Yeah. Now, from a standpoint of mechanics and the feel of the game, I 100% agree with you. Lore stuff, like I said, I don't know enough to make a true statement on that. So I can't comment too much on that, apart from taking what you said as word. But I don't know. Like, I actually don't know is the truth. But
Yeah.
What I will comment on is the rest of the stuff. Now, I've been realizing this more recently. I've been thinking about generations, and I've been thinking about the shift between 4th gen and 5th gen. And I think Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate was literally Capcom telling us this is the end of the road for old gen. We're going in a new direction. Here's everything. Here's every single flagship, every single main map. You know, we're representing Gen 1 to 4. We threw in arts and styles, added in Fatal 4, Deviants, all this stuff. So many weapons, so many events. The biggest game that can fill you with so much joy for the old Monster Hunter. Here's this game. If you want this experience, stay here because we're not bringing it anymore. That is literally what GU is. And that's why I think GU is such an important part of Monster Hunter history that some people don't understand or some people don't realize. And some people misunderstand. Some people misunderstand what GU is. They just see it as another Monster Hunter game, but it's not another Monster Hunter game. It's not just another Monster Hunter game. It's a celebration game to celebrate everything from before it. So all of its faults that it has with reusing assets and reusing certain monster mechanics and not building monsters, particularly for the new game properly, it was, which I guess that was a shortcut and they probably could have put more effort into that. It was them bringing what Monster Hunter is to its entirety in one single place for us to play. And yeah, no, going on from there, the shift is 100%. You can definitely see it. Art style is one thing, like you said. I mean, if you're gonna make a game more mainstream, there's two things you work on. There's two things. The two easiest thing to make a game more mainstream is what is actually free. But okay, we'll talk about the three. One is good graphics. You need really good graphics to make a game become mainstream. People like to see nice graphics. They like to see pretty stuff. Story. Add in a story, hopefully compelling. World wasn't compelling in the story, but it had a story. People like to know there's a narrative. They like to know what they're doing. There's a reason for it. The third thing is flashy gameplay. People like flashy gameplay. They like the gameplay to seem like it's interesting, it's engaging, there's something there. If you're seeing World and Wilds, you can definitely see they're hitting the 2 points heavily. Graphics, story. They're hitting those two so heavy because they know it entices and it can get those newer players to look at the game and say, wow, this game looks pretty. Look how this game looks in 4K, more 1080p back in, PlayStation 4 era. Look how this game looks. It has a story. Wow. Big dragons, big dinosaurs fighting these guys in good graphics. I'm getting this game. You look at Wilds. Look at the weather effects. They're doing weather effects, bigger maps because people like that. People like open world games. They like big worlds, big games. It's very easy to market. Very easy to show weather effects and say, look at this game. So they build it. They do it. It's a marketing tactic. It gets people in. Even though in the game, the phases between acclimacy and furlough barely means anything. It's a great marketing tool to get people in the game. And that is the shift. The shift is to graphics and story. Gameplay and what evolution in gameplay isn't the main story, or the gameplay loop isn't the main thing that they focus on right now. Not until after the initial release and then the title update comes out and then the expansion comes out. That's when they're starting to think about that gameplay loop and expanding on the gameplay. In the mainline series, like the numbered series, the World and Wilds. And then you see Rise, where it's a bit of a more traditional in the sense of more focused around the gameplay loop you know, portable style, getting people into the hunts, making them have fun and so on, instead of just focusing on bigger, better graphics and story. It's a different tone for the games. So I suppose, yeah, no, you're right. There's been a big shift since the 5th gen. If you like that shift, that's up to you. That's cool. If you don't, that's also cool. It's up to you. So yeah, no, 100% you're right on that front. But like I said, the lore front, I can't add too much to that because I'm really not a lore guy. Honestly, I'm really not. But thanks for sharing, man. I really do appreciate you sharing that, your issues when it came to that.
Yeah.
And Monster Hunter.
No problem. I could probably keep ranting about random little things that I don't like, but I think we've been doing this for more than an hour.
Yeah, just over an hour. Just over an hour. So it's definitely a good time for us to stop. And I do appreciate having you on, Agent. Honestly, like I said, you've been with me for the longest of time. And I want to really. It makes me happy to be able to, talk to these people, people that I've met over the years. And I've been doing YouTube I've been doing YouTube for a long time, but I've been doing YouTube properly, I guess, for the past 5 years. And it's been great to, meet people like you and you to come through to the streams and all the other people who come, like I said, Trax, Wind, Soares, all the old folk, and then newer folk like Lady Volts. You got Scythe, you got Ninjama. There's so many new people coming through all the time. And we got Bell, we got Ryan, got Lance Main. There's just, yeah, so many people. Honestly, so many people. So it's good. It's good to see people growing up and playing Monster Hunter and playing along with me. So no, 100%, man. And we haven't actually played WoW together. We haven't played. You've been a bit. No, you've been a bit quiet, man. I haven't seen you in the stream, so I think we need to play.
Sorry about that. Work's been, working.
No, I get that.
So
I get that. But we definitely need to play together. Like, we need to get a session together, man. 100%.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll both
100%.
pull out the Gunlance and we'll take down Arkvel together. Cause I hate that guy, but we'll take him down together.
All right.
We'll fuck him up.
I got a 5-star temper to his quest.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
Alrighty.
It'll be good.
Yeah, sounds good.
Nice. Well, guys, thanks for coming, guys. And Agent, it's been great. Thank you for coming, man. Any last words for everyone?
No. I mean, I guess if anyone has knowledge of the lore, please correct me. Feed my brain full of knowledge.
Yeah, we like knowledge over here. Like, there's nothing wrong with stating your opinion. And if you're wrong, that's fine. Let people correct us. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss about it. And we'll all learn. We'll all learn from the situation together. So it's totally fine. You've expressed yourself really well today. I think you had really good talking points, and you said you have a lot more to talk about. Well, I'll definitely need to get you on in the future again. It'll be great to talk more. But yeah, thank you, Agent. I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Great.
So,
well, guys, that's it for us. We'll catch you guys next time. See ya.
Bye-bye.